Thank you, Pak Yatna. Like what our Director General said, that the wildlife, there is no boundary for the wildlife. So I would like to explain how our company, as a industrial forest company, to manage the wildlife within our concession. So as a basis of our initiative in sustainability, this is our sustainability roadmap and our policy in 2013 when we stopped to using natural forests, and we committed to protect forests within our conservation concessions. Of course, this is one of the initiatives that we support our government to achieve the how we can protect the key endangered species, like what our DG said, that within our concession there are three key endangered species: orangutan, Sumatran tiger, and also elephant. So about 600,000 hectare protected area within our concession in 5 provinces. We have been protected after we did our assessment for high conservation value and high carbon stock area. And this is the initiative how we protect wildlife within the forestry concession, starting by determining the area and mapping of endangered species habitat, and like what our DG said, using special planning, and we mapping all the wildlife movement and home range within our concession, because we realized that there is no boundary within the forest for wildlife habitat. So this is one of the map, and from South Sumatra, which is area of tiger and also elephants. And this is within the Riau area, within our concession, Jambi. There is Sumatran and also elephants. And in Kalimantan, we had orangutan. So, of course, after the mapping, how we can, what is the strategy to protect the forest? Because of the forest, it's wildlife habitat. So using high technology, because we know that in the size 600,000 is like 10 times of, almost 10 times of Singapore area. So we use this technology to monitor the forest cover changes to make sure that the forest still in a good condition. So this technology will tell us if there is a forest cover changes, they will send us as an alert, and then we can prioritize and monitor the area. And then we do some collaborative conservation management with the communities as well, and also using smart patrol to help us to monitor the area. And then by using this technology, we can reduce the threat from the illegal activities from before more than 5% and now less than 1% within the 600,000 hectares. And of course, collaborative with the community is important. Using this smart patrol as a digital, this is one of the tools that developed by a consortium of a local NGO and also international NGO. And then we socialize with the local communities, including our security and also biodiversity patrol within the concession. And of course, to reduce or mitigate the human-wildlife conflict mitigation, we develop a standard operating procedure for our workers to ensure that we can eliminate the wildlife conflict with the human. So, of course, training is important. So we train all the employees, our workers, to avoid this or mitigate conflict within the operation itself. And of course, after we map, this is one of our strategy, which is if we identify some of the area which have a wildlife movement, we also adjust to our operational. For example, the harvesting plan, we manage if there is a elephant past the area, we monitor, and then we also have a adjustment to our harvesting plan. And of course, some of the degraded area within the 600,000 right now is only about the 60% in the good condition, and of course the 40% we need to restore back. And then our target, how to make this forest in the good condition up to 95% in the next 5 years. So this is beside the wildlife, we also identified the key endangered tree species within the concession, because we know that this is important to be protected. So this is some of the species that we identify within our concession, and then we also already put in our spatial planning to ensure that the habitat or the ecosystem still there. And also by doing the restoration, we can do some enrichment. Even also we work with Minister of Environment Agency, research agency in national and also in Yogyakarta to do some propagation with for the some endangered species. This is one of the endangered nursery in Riau and also in East Kalimantan. So this is one of the sample that there is no boundary, and then we have our internal analysis that about 7% of Sumatran elephant population always pass within our concession area. And then I will show you also in the last my presentation some of our camera traps catch this wildlife within our concession. And about 9% as well Sumatran tiger within population always within our concession using at their habitat and corridor. And about 15% of orangutan, Bornean orangutan population in Kutai landscape. So this is one of the wildlife monitoring. Of course, we put a lot of camera traps installed in areas that we already identified the population, the corridor or the habitat. And then this is, of course, to achieve the protection of the wildlife, we cannot do ourselves. This is all our partner. And of course, this is something we know that as a private sector, we also have to contribute to protect the key species. And to achieve this inclusiveness, not only local NGO, but also community is the key. And the landscape, like we understand that there is no boundary for the wildlife. And to achieve sustainable forest management has to include key species protection and their ecosystem habitat. Like what Pak Digi said, there is no forest if there is no wildlife within the forest. So thank you. I will show some of a video, a very cute that catch with camera trap in our concession. Okay. Thank you very much.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's the tigers. Wow, that's really good one.